Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Inner Reconciliation channel. I wanted to respond to a comment that came in on GP's channel, GP Walsh, the creator of Inner Reconciliation. And I've heard similar things come up in our groups and channels and stuff before. So I wanted to address this question and see if I can present anything useful using what you might call the inner reconciliation approach to this. So the response is, I'm not connected to myself, so asking myself what myself needs or tuning into the real me doesn't work for me. I never get any answers when I pose questions to myself because I'm not in there, to be honest, if that makes any sense. The real me is lost or dead or so apathetic that I can't find myself. I've meditated on and off for 20 years, and all I feel is that my eyes are closed. I don't know what the answer is for me. A little bit about the course, which is what sparked the question, because part of the inner reconciliation course and process are about, inquiring into your feelings and emotions. So I have no idea who I am or why I'm here. All there is the pain of desire to express the real me. I don't know who that is. I only know for sure that I'm not expressing it. So I'd like to pose this to you, and first just notice the picture you have, the idea you have of the real me. Even in the way you describe it, it's very obvious, right? It's self-evident that there is some sort of image, some sort of idea of there's a real me. And notice that even in the way you're expressing it, you've separated it from yourself, as strange as it might sound, because you're actually talking about the quote-unquote real me being something that you can't find, which is externalizing it to some extent. And also, I'd invite you to take a look at the attributes you give it. What is it that you're expecting it to be? Is it an idea or a sense of a certain type of emotional state? I'm sure that's the case. A certain type of feeling, a certain type of experience of the world. And once you find that, then this me that you currently are will know it's found the real you. And keep zeroing in on just the idea of that itself, the sort of disconnection, which you say, I'm not connected to myself, but just the idea of that, the way it's internalized and the way the idea of the real you is externalized. And now I'm going to invite you to actually explore something a little here and see if it really is so far away from you. The idea you have of the real you, this sort of idealized set of emotions, states, experiences, may seem far away. It may seem like I can't possibly connect to that. If that's the case, I'm going to submit that that can't possibly be the real you, whatever that idea of it is. So here's what I'd invite you to take a look at for a second here. What is it inside you that can actually say, I'm disconnected? So really look and see. I'm not arguing that what you feel, I'm not disagreeing or challenging your actual feelings ever, right? But there is a feeling of disconnection, something you would call disconnection, and this desire to express something other than you feel like what you're currently connected to. But just take a look at something that's very easy to take for granted, the fact that you can actually see that. Something, whatever you want to call it, is able to see there's a set of experiences, sensations that I am identified with that feel like me, and I can feel a sense of something else. I feel like there's more. I feel like there's something I could be. I feel like there's a sense of connection that isn't there. There's something I want to express. Now, what is it that's actually able to sense that? What would be aware that there's something more? You have to be connected to something in order to even be aware of this sense that there could be something else. Does that make sense? I don't think a robot would ever feel like it could be more than it is. It's just 100% it just is what it is, right? But within you, if you want to language it that way within you, there is this sense of my feeling, and I can sense that there's something more. What other than the real you could have that awareness, could be aware of that? And that might sound a little too simplistic, or how does that help me? But actually take a moment and sort of relax into the sense that I'm aware of this. So you don't deny or fight the feeling that's there, these feelings that, whatever this feeling sense is that says, I feel disconnected, right? Relax the idea that that isn't the real you, and that that's about finding the real you, and something is supposed to give you some type of very clear visual, mental, logical answer of where to find it. Just relax all of that, and instead just feel that sensation that you would give the word disconnect. That's a feeling, you can't deny it. But relax the story around it, the connection to an idea of a real me, and just say there's a feeling here, which there is. And now there also, on a very direct feeling level, is a sense of, let's say, there could be something more. There's something else. There's a desire for something. But to even have that desire means some part of you must know what that something else is. Right? Like, there must be something with a greater awareness to even say that exists and it's missing. And I want you to feel the actual desire for it, the sense that there's something more. Because you'll notice there's a difference between that and the thought, there could be more. Because you could always think there could be more, this could be better as a concept, right? Well, there's infinite, so it could always be better. Forget about that. Go to the actual feeling in you that really is aware of this, something that's hard to give a name to. We're giving the name to it, real me. But you can feel that it exists. And now, once again, forget the idea of real me. Forget the idea that what you currently are is some, fake you, or just your ego, or any of these concepts. And just notice, I'm aware of a set of feelings. I'm aware of another set of feelings. There are many thoughts and ideas arising about trying to explain that feeling of disconnect. But relax all those stories and keep looking at it from the place of, what is it that's seeing this whole picture, right? Notice the process of actually labeling one part of that experience, me, and let's call it the imagined, the thing that's actually desired. And notice something labels that the real me. And now it's created a very clear model of, this is me. There's a feeling of desire for something which represents the real me, which I am supposed to find somehow, but I don't really know how. And these processes aren't working. I would submit that within that model, it's challenging for any process to really work. It doesn't matter if it's inner reconciliation or anything else. What inner reconciliation emphasizes here is to focus on the actual experience that's there. And then you could say, take a step back if that's useful to you, or just sort of zoom out. Notice that there's something aware of that entire picture. That awareness, that sense of the whole picture may not, provide any type of explosive, blissful, giving you deep answers in the way that you expect the quote unquote real you to give them, because we've externalized that and romanticized it and given it a lot of attributes that it's supposed to feel like this and look like this. So then anything that doesn't look like that or taste like that or give us the answers in the way we expect an answer to come means, oh, it's not there. I still can't find it. But if you relax the label of what it is and just forget about it, forget about what you think the real you is, and forget about what you think whatever you would use for you now is, whether that's the fake you or the small you, whatever. There's obviously something that can see all of that, or it can at least see your current experience. It can see the labeling of it as me and is aware of the sensations, the feelings, and is very aware of that desire for something called, that you're calling the real me, that is just something deeper, that feels more connected. And notice if that entire experience, if you just take in the whole picture, if that's innately disconnected in any way. If you don't kind of zoom in to any of those feelings and make it your entire world. Just see the entire experience and ask the question, what is it that's taking in all of this? What's aware of all of these feelings and sensations? What is it that's able to say, if I say, zoom in and really focus on what you think the real me is supposed to feel like? There's something in you that's able to do that. You know, we can get into, is that your brain, is it not? But who cares for now, right? Just notice that there's an ability to direct the attention. And there's an ability to direct the attention so much, get so immersed in something that it becomes your universe, it becomes me. Without just doing it for the sake of language, just see if it actually feels accurate to say, there's an awareness of this set of experiences, these feelings, these emotions, and there's a desire there as well. And see if that takes some of the load off. See if that takes some of the overhead off of this search for the real you, and wherever you're stuck now, being unable to make any progress with that. Perhaps open up to different ideas of what that really is. Maybe the real you is what is able to take all this in. And exploring that perspective a bit, exploring what that feels like, might open something. It might shift things a little bit. I'd submit that if we're looking for a particular answer for a long time, or a certain type of experience for years, and it's not showing up, it might be more effective to just question our model of it. Question what it is we're actually looking for and expecting to happen, and say, maybe it's something totally different than that. Maybe I don't really know what it is, which you even say in the question, right? I'm what was it? I have no idea who I am or why I'm here. But notice what it's like to feel that in a really contracted way, which is like, I just don't know who I am, right? But I know there's a real me that feels much better. See what it feels like to just say, I don't know who I am. I don't know what the real me is. But I'm open to looking in different ways. I'm open to exploring what that might be. And I'm open to it not necessarily being all of the things I've projected onto it, all the things I've heard about it and have downloaded from different stories, different teachers. And not to say any of them are inaccurate, but we can pretty much guarantee that what our mind turns it into and externalizes it, objectifies it into this thing, is never totally accurate, and can twist the whole thing around into, I'm looking for this and I need to find it. And going back to the beginning, it will even make you into some kind of other thing, and there's a real you out there somewhere. And how could the real you be something that you have to go find? So just question the act of looking like that and try that zooming out thing I've been talking about here. And it's going to be real quick and real easy for something to go, well, that, I don't know, I can see that, but who cares? So what? What's this doing? Didn't feel like. Anything that responds like that is saying it doesn't match what we think it's supposed to look like. It's that voice, or whatever you want to call it, that externalized idea about the real me saying, coming back and saying, doesn't look like that. This can't be it. So experiment with that a little bit. Feel free to ask any questions. Hopefully that was helpful to you or some of the other individuals where I've seen a similar type of question come up, and might open some doorways to exploring this, because I really do feel that when we have this paradigm about things, it is hard. It's hard for any practice to work. And the mind and the whole system sets up a really well enclosed version of itself that doesn't really allow any penetration. It's just like, there's a real me, I can't find it, it's out there somewhere, nothing I do works, boom. It's well insulated at that point. And it can perpetuate that for a very long time, and perpetuate the whole idea of seeking and trying to find it. And, oh, I connected to it a little bit, it externalizes it. Right? So just notice that, and be sensitive to that sense of externalizing it, and see what happens. Okay, thanks.